Summary of Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison. The book starts in 1931, when an insurance agent named Robert Smith kills himself. Smith jumps off the Mercy Hospital in a Michigan town, which is on the street known as Not Doctor Street. Soon after this strange event, the first black woman to give birth in Mercy Hospital is Ruth, who is the daughter of Dr. Foster and the name of Not Doctor Street. The guy Ruth is married to, Macon dead too, is cold and violent. He has made a lot of money and rents out most of the town's homes. Ruth gives birth to a boy in the hospital, and they also have two girls, 1 Corinthians and Lena. Macon picks a name from the Bible at random for each daughter. Macon used to be close with his sister Pilate, but something strange that happened in a cave has made them less close. Ruth tries to get close to Macon at the beginning of her marriage, but she gives up and instead spends time thinking about her father. She feeds her son Macon dead 3 breast milk when she's by herself in the house, even though he's a little too big for it now. Fred, a cleaner and task runner for Macon dead too, sees Ruth breastfeeding her son one day and calls the baby Milkman. The name sticks. Milkman meets Guitar when he is 12 years old. Guitar is a little older than Milkman. Pinky takes Milkman to see Pilate, who lives with Reba and Hagar, her daughter and granddaughter. Pinky has been told not to see Pilate. Milkman falls in love with Hagar right away. Macon gets mad at Milkman later for going to see Pilate, but Milkman stands up to his dad. Macon calls Pilate a snake and says that he and Pilate grew up with their father on a big farm. Their dad couldn't read or write, and he got the name Macon dead by accident when the register at the Freedmen's Bureau got his words about his own dad having died in Macon wrong. Soon after, Macon hires Milkman to collect rent. After a few years, Ruth gets mad at Macon while the family is eating dinner, and he hits her. Macon is pushed into the radiator right away by Milkman, who threatens to kill him if he touches Ruth again. Macon is proud of his son behind his back for standing up to him. He tells Milkman that night that he saw Ruth kissing her dying father's fingers years before, which makes it sound like they were seeing each other sexually. Milkman starts to feel bad around all women, even Ruth. Hagar, the woman he's been seeing for years, has also been making him tired. He breaks up with her, which breaks her heart. He also finds out that Guitar may be involved in a string of killings meant to get back at racist white people who killed black people. Guitar says that all white people are mean and cruel, even the ones who seem good. Hagar tries to kill Milkman many times, but fails each time. He is very angry with him. When Ruth finds out that Hagar and Milkman were seeing each other, she gets angry and questions Pilate. Pilate tells her about her life. Pilate left her father's farm in Danville, Pennsylvania, after he was killed by a racist white family who wanted his land. She went through Virginia and had Reba while sleeping with a man. She refused to marry the man because she thought he would be offended by the fact that she didn't have a navel. She also tells Ruth that while she was traveling, she met the spirit of her late father and he told her to sing. That's why she keeps singing so happily and often. On the other hand, Macon tells Milkman that he thinks Pilate keeps a bag of gold in her house. He says that when he and Pilate were kids, they were lost after their father died and traveled through woods and caves. They slept in a cave one night and woke up to find a strange man there. Macon killed the man out of fear and then found out that he was carrying gold. They had to leave the gold with the dead man, so Pilate pushed Macon out of the cave. Macon ran away, and when he came back, Pilate and the gold were gone. He asks Milkman to help him get the gold back. Guitar agrees to help Milkman, and the two of them sneak into Pilate's house to steal the green bag that hangs from her ceiling. They are let down when they open it and only find bones inside. They are both jailed because the cops think they are up to no good because of the bones. Because Pilate doesn't press charges, she covers for both of them. This makes Milkman feel bad about stealing from her in the first place. Even though she is in college, Milkman's sister Corinthians has to work as a maid. A poor man named Henry Porter, who works in the yard and used to live with Macon dead when he was drunk, meets her and tries to win her heart. Corinthians doesn't want to marry someone lower than her at first, but she gives in the end when she realizes that no one else wants her. Porter has sex with Corinthians against her will the first time they go home together, but she stays with him afterward. Milkman goes to Danville, Pennsylvania, in the second part of the book to find the cave where he thinks Pilate left her gold. People who remember his father are happy to hear that Macon, dead too, is now rich and powerful. While Milkman is looking for the cave, he meets Circe, the very old and dedicated nurse who gave birth to Pilate and his father. Circe tells Milkman that his grandfather's real name was Jake and that the powerful Butler family killed Jake and threw his body into the river. He goes to the cave she tells him about but doesn't find the gold there. After hearing what Circe had to say, he believes Pilate was lying when he said he was going back to the cave. He then chooses to follow her to Virginia to find where she might have hidden the gold. She tells Milkman that someone from Michigan, maybe Guitar, has been looking for him when he gets to the town of Shalimar. People in the town pick on him for being snobby, and he starts to understand why they're right. He's only ever cared about himself. Milkman goes on a hunt with some Shalimar guys. He tries to kill him during the hunt. He doesn't know for sure why Guitar wants to kill him, but he thinks it has something to do with the gold. Finally, Milkman finds Pilate at the house of Susan Bird. Susan tells Milkman that his grandpa, Jake, married an Indian woman named Singh. Milkman runs into Guitar as he leaves Bird's house. Guitar tells him that he is trying to steal the gold for himself. Guitar needs Pilate's gold to pay for his vengeance group, the 7 Days. These people kill white people who kill a black person, even if the white people they kill were involved in the murder in the first place. Milkman is warned by Guitar, who then leaves. Milkman sees that the nursery song the kids are singing is about his own family as he walks through Shalimar. Moving on, he goes back to Bird's house and learns that his great-grandfather was called Solomon and allegedly went back to Africa, leaving his wife and children to take care of themselves. Bird thinks this is all a fairy tale, but Milkman is thrilled by what he has heard and really believes it. He feels like a new person as he drives back to Michigan and thinks that every name has a story. To his surprise, Milkman learns that Hagar has died of sadness after trying to look better for him. When he feels very bad, he goes to see Pilate. Pilate hits him with a bottle and knocks him out, but he doesn't kill him. When Milkman went back to the cave, she found the body she had been carrying for years. She told Pilate that the body belonged to her own father. They go back to Shalimar together to bury the bodies. Pilate passes out as soon as they bury it. Guitar shot her. He was going after Milkman and is still determined to get the gold that neither Pilate nor Milkman has. Guitar puts down his gun in the last scene, and Milkman offers to kill him. He jumps toward Guitar and flies through the air, but it's not clear if he wants to fight or embrace him.
About the author. Toni Morrison was born in Ohio to a working-class family that had left the South to get away from racism and poverty. From 1949 to 1953, she went to Howard University. After that, she got her master's degree at Cornell. From 1958 to 1964, she was married to builder Harold Morrison. During that time, she had 2 children and raised them by herself. After she got divorced from her husband, she worked as an editor in New York City. It was there that she helped get Angela Davis's first books published. Her first book, The Bluest Eye, came out in 1970. After that, she wrote Sula, 1973, which was nominated for the National Book Award, Song of Solomon, 1977, which became her first widely acclaimed book, and Beloved, 1987, which helped her win the Nobel Prize in 1993. There are many universities where Morrison has taught, such as Rutgers, Howard, Princeton, and many more. God Help the Children came out in April 2015.
Hope we summarized it fully and you liked it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that we are motivated to create more videos.